diabetes. We don't really know what it is. Just keep an eye on him.
So what was his symptoms?
Well, the symptoms were that he was getting very forgetful, and he was getting depressed. He didn't want to go places and do things like he normally had. You know, we had friends we liked to play cards with, and, you know, square dance and things that we liked to do.
And he just dropped out.
He just didn't want to do anything but stay in bed or sit on the porch, and he didn't talk as much.
So here's this brilliant mind,
Yeah.
just kind of checking out.
And we were going to the White House every week for Bible studies and prayer there for 15 years. And a couple times he said to me, "Honey, I don't remember. Who's the president?" And I said, see, I thought he was kidding. I didn't take it seriously. I said, "Honey, you know Bill Clinton." And then he'd say, "Oh, of course. I just forgot." But I was a woman of prayer, and I prayed, "God, there is just something wrong. The doctors say there isn't anything wrong, but I know there's something wrong." And the Lord spoke to me and said, "It's time to be with family." And I thought, well, here's our sons. They're all scattered everywhere. They'd all been in the military. But I thought of Bill's family. None of them ever left Indiana, and we both loved Indiana.
What part of Indiana?
The southern part, not too far from the University of Indiana in Bloomington.
Okay.
And it's a little rural area. He grew up on a farm with six brothers and sisters and you. And so that morning after he got up, I said, "You know, honey, I've been thinking, why don't we sell our house, give up our ministry at the White House and the Pentagon, and why don't we go to Indiana and be around your family?" Well, he just brightened right up. But he didn't feel good enough to help pack, so I had to try to sell the house and pack.
So to move this along,
we got there.
You arrived in Indiana, and then what happened?
I told him I needed to take Bill to see a doctor because he was having problems.
Okay.
And the only thing they noticed was that he wasn't hardly talking. And he'd always been outgoing, but he just wouldn't hardly talk. He'd say, you know, yes or no or fine. That was about it. So I took him to a doctor, and almost immediately they diagnosed him with Alzheimer's.
Did they?
And they gave him a prescription, and they said, "We only have one prescription, and there is no cure." I said, "No cure?" He said, "And no recovery." I said, "Don't they ever get better?" And the doctor said, "No, you better look for a nursing home."
In fact, they said to you, the doctor advised, get an attorney, have everything done while he can still write his name.
Yes, they advised me to see an attorney and get legal papers. And I said, "What papers?" I mean, that just sounds so dumb. But I just didn't really know what you had to do if somebody was going to die. And she said, or the doctor said, "Do it while he can still write his name." And here I thought of him and all the responsibility that he had had. How could he forget his name?
Now, his personality was changing too, that he had anger bouts.
Well, they didn't start immediately, but anger, the doctors all
Which was strange for you.
It was very strange. The doctors all said that anger and violence go along with Alzheimer's.
Yes, it does,
As you get into like the medium stages, it gets worse. And they said, "You'll just have to get used to it." And I said, "I can't get used to violence." They said, "Just get used to it. It goes along with it."
Wow.
Boy, I started really praying because it was kind of scary.
Now, when did the Lord give you what is known short as PS? Because believe it or not, I wrote it down, the actual word, and it has 18 letters. I don't know how anybody could pronounce this thing.
Well, it's really easy. I have taught phonics and helped tutor children that didn't know how to read yet they were in high school.
I wish I would have known you.
And so phonics makes it real easy. It's PHA, which PH always sounds like F. So if you look at it, it's fa, tidal, serene. And if you just say fa for PH, fa, tidal, Tidyl, and then serene, So it isn't hard at all.
Oh, no, it's not
but
hard.
You can go on this.
It's not hard.